Hello, everybody. I'm just going to confirm that I'm on Soulful Empowerment as well. Bear with me here a moment. Oh, right there. I just saw it. Will it still show up? Let me take a look. It does. There we go. Right on. Cool. So I'm the only one watching me. Oh, no, there's Robin too. Love it. Hi, Robin. If you have any questions, I only have one question from one person. So let me just go to that. First of all, before we go into the questions, let's just take a moment to settle into the energy. Let me pull my hair out. Let me show you the little dragon I have. Which side? This side. The little dragon I have on. Let's just ground ourselves. So tapping into the energy of our feet, strongly connected to the Mother Earth. Asking our mind, body, and soul to do whatever it needs to do to heal in this beautiful space. Feeling the energy swirling around our body, the loving support. Connecting in with the divine source. Connecting into the being connected, aware, and all-knowing. Being in service to the greater good. Being open. With no expectations. No limitations. And being okay with the outcome. Also asking that any questions that are asked, whether it's one or many, that whoever is watching this live or on replays receives answers that they're willing to accept, if they're open to receiving. Again, asking that the mind, body, and soul does whatever it wants to do, whatever it needs to do to accept healing in this space. And so it is. Beautiful. Thank you so much. So please, Robin, write down a question or ask for a general reading, I guess, whatever the case is. In the meantime, I'll go over to the question from our beautiful Zila. She says, "Hi, Sandra. I would like to ask my guides, what would they like me to know about my work situation now?" Okay, so I'm just going to write her name in here first for in the group. Answered 3 minutes in. There we go. Beautiful. So what would they like me to know about my work situation right now? Okay, so let me just tap into the energy of this a little bit more strongly. Okay. So I'm seeing a separation happening, Zila. It's almost like the walls of a cubicle around you, and I'm feeling the energy of knocking those walls down. I'm not sure if these are self-inflicted barriers or if they're physical barriers, whatever the case is. Obviously, if it's a physical barrier, then there's not a lot that can be done about that unless it's a group meeting amongst all of you and everybody's cubicles type things come down. However, I imagine that there's some purpose behind having cubicles. I'm not sure if that's what, like I say, it feels like it could be energetically or it could be physically. If it's energetically, okay, thank you. Literally, an automatic writing has just popped in. So you're being asked to do an automatic writing around what barriers are you personally putting up or that you're perceiving. Bear with me here. Yes, with regards to your work situation. So an automatic writing is being asked of you, okay? Thank you. Okay, let's see who else has got a question here. Hi, Maria. Hi, Kitty. So Maria says, first, Robin, I'm going to do a general reading, but guess what, you guys? I want to show you something. I'm going to do a general reading, and I'm going to do it. Let me find the StreamYard again. I got too many things open on my computer. So I have an incredible book sitting here in my hand. This is by a member of our community, Hope Isabella. Her last name is Smith, and I don't have my glasses on to read her third name in here, but she's been following me for a very, very long time, and I want to honor her because she's honored me. She's dropped in on my Facebook Lives, on my business page, and what have you, and she's written a book, and that book was already within her. However, it was because of reaching out to me and the guides, I guess not me specifically, but through me, her guides basically said, you need to get this book out. You need to write this book, right? So she's written this book, and it's called Keeping Your Faith Through Socrates' Journey. And she gifted me a copy of this book. It's Keeping Your Faith Through Socrates' Journey. But I hope I'm pronouncing the dog's name right. And in the acknowledgements, she actually has acknowledged myself here, Sandra Pelly, my shaman. And there's 2 chapters that I'm called. I'm spoken about in this that I've read so far. I'm about a third of the way through the book, so I'm going to do a reading for you through this book today. So let me just kind of tap into the energy of Kate. We're popping in there. Let me put my reflective glasses on, Robin. The original 1947 movie, The Ghost of Mrs. Muir, was on. If you don't know it, this is a story about a woman writing the life experiences of a late salty sea captain. This captain is relating his life stories to her from beyond as she diligently types them out. I'm not Mrs. Muir, but I get the message just the same. So, Robin, what messages have you been receiving from beyond? Are you paying attention to these messages that you're receiving from beyond? This may not necessarily be about you writing, but thank you, Kate, thank you. The guidance that's coming through is to put your pen to paper and see what wants to come through, because there is a guide there that wants to say something through you, and it's through the writings. Okay, so interesting little piece. I don't know if you've been thinking about writing lately, or if somebody's been coming up and you're feeling the energy of that person or not. But yeah, putting a pen to paper will be very helpful. Okay. Okay. Cool. So I'm just gonna.
I love it. I read it.
That's not what I wanted to do. Yikes. So that was answered at about 7 minutes in. Okay. Oh, you've been writing and journaling possibly a book in the future. Love it. Good. Right on. Okay, so Maria, would love a message. If you get something around my returning low energy around this time, dark new moon, it would be helpful. I know our shadow comes up in this energy, but why so strong and how to change this pattern? Oh my gosh, my friend. Maria, go and check out Kitty's. Well, if you're on her page, go and check out in the Intuition of the Soul, her vibe of the week. But if not, go and check out in Empowering the Healer Within, in the monthly piece that she does in there, her storytelling astrological piece that she does in there on the monthly basis. Go and check that out. I mean, November has been absolutely huge. Oh my gosh. Kitty, are you available? Do you want to come on StreamYard with me? Wow. Let me just let me see what I can do here. Maybe we can make this a double one here. I'm going to send you a link, Kitty. If you're unavailable to do this, that's absolutely fine. If you are available, then feel free to join me, and maybe we can give some people some information here. Comically enough, November has been very powerful in that, and I don't even know how to word this. October was about reflection back. about 12 years back. November's about looking forward about 12 years. What do we want in our future? And then it's really understanding what have we learned in that past. And here's Kitty. I'm going to let her explain this. Thank you so much, Kitty. Yay!
I was just, it was so funny because I was just surfing and doing a reel about this, and I said hi, and then I get this notice. I'm going to go into my other room.
Sure.
I get this notice that there was a message from you, and I went, oh, sure, I'd be happy to come on. So now I will put myself, there we go.
There we go. So, could you please enlighten Maria and anybody else who's on here about what is going on? Because I think the information coming from you is going to be a lot better. And by no means is this now a personal interview of Kitty, but it's more of us
I'm up for anything. That's kind of what this energy is.
Yeah.
Let me shut my door.
Okay.
Excuse me, guys. I wing this. Well, first of all, this November has been a really intense.
Yeah.
It always is because it's Scorpio. It's about transformation. But for fixed signs, it's been very hard to figure out what it is to do. And then we have now moved into this beautiful Sagittarian truth energy, and we have 6 planets as of today in mutable energy, which is all about philosophical, which is all about finishing things, tying things up, getting ready for new starts. And it's feeling, last night I was doing my soul to my group at night, the spirit communication, and I was like, had the energy of 5-5-year-olds. I was like giddy, singing. I mean, that's what this is. So what happens today at 5:57 Eastern Standard Time is we have the moon in Sagittarius. Now we have yesterday as the sun in Sagittarius, and a new moon is when the sun and the moon they exclude the light. There's something in between. So that's why we set our intentions. That's why we bring forth our dreams. And we talk about in the class I teach, using your energy along with the energy that's available right now. It's not that you can't do other intentions, but you can set your intentions. Well, what's really cool about this is less than 5 minutes after the new moon peaks, we have Jupiter, the planet of expansion, the planet that is ruled by the 9th house Sagittarian energy. So yet another Sagittarian piece of truce, and it's about higher learning. It's a very cool house. It's a very spiritual house. It's about higher learning, higher auras. It's fire. It's energy. And this is all about energy. Yes, and all of us have on that bottom plate fire and fire. Moons are always connected to water because of Cancer, and rising signs are always connected to fire. And so this is that fire. This is also about bringing that energy forward. And Sagittarius is just this. It's the fire of the steady burning, where we stand around and we dream and we talk to each other and we laugh. Think about what you're like when you stand around a campfire. Yeah. It's warmth. It's all of those things. And we have Jupiter going direct. Now, Jupiter lives in 12-year cycles. So we ended one this past April, May, that started in 2010 and ends in 2022. And with this, and Jupiter went into Aries, which is new beginnings. But when it retrograde, it went back over that ending of the 12-year period. And today it turns around again and goes back over that ending again of the 12-year period. And so that'll be the 3rd time it's gone over the end of that 12-year cycle with its lessons, with its what awoke us, because it's about the planet of awakening. And in Sagittarius, it's about the planet of truths for ourselves, truths that we bring forward. So it's gone back to make sure we get those lessons so that when we build from it, we have those lessons. And one of the things I'm very aware of is that what's different about this 12-year cycle is I'm aware. I'm already a different level of being awakened. And so now I can really look at those intentions I set tonight That's why I keep telling people this is a premiere of what is it I want to say by 2034 that I have awakened to, that I have higher learning about, that I'm able to look at the person I've become in my learning and in the energy that I have. And so it's a really great, unique opportunity. That's why it's a premiere of the best is yet to be. What is it I want to see in this next 12 years? And for me, I will be 74 years old. So it's 62 to 74. And I happen to be a waning moon, which is about coming into my understanding in my 60s and 70s. So this is a really primary piece of expansion time personally for me in this Jupiter. And it turns today to go back over that. So it went back, picked up some more information, because you did it the first time up till April when the cycle ended. Now you've dipped back into it, and now you're coming back forward so that when it joins Aries again, and it joins Aries in December again, you have this really solidified, this awakening of what you, over that 12-year period, you learned, you practice, you let go of, because as you expand, there are always things we let go of to make more room. And so, and it is right now, Jupiter is in Pisces, so it's in this emotional ascended masters energy at the end of the cycle. And all of this mutable energy allow us to really let go of things that were in our way over that 12 years and really set our intentions forth for this next 12 years. Very, very cool. Just a very wildly, for me, I feel it because I'm also Sagittarius rising. So for me, it's about what's coming to me. Like, wow, this energy is just amazing.
I want to add on top of this, and my apologies for typing rapidly, and you may have heard the keys or not. And if you did, then my apologies. Anyway, I know, and I wrote in the comments there that for myself, that reflection back was that realizing that something that my husband said to me back a number of years ago really is what spurred me to change how I was listening to people. So that was that reflection back 12 years ago. This moving forward with the lunar moon, full moon, lunar eclipse, full moon, I set the intention of moving my healing awareness past the human concept. And so now this next 12 years, I am stepping into really embracing and opening myself up to that in a massive way, meaning that the things that are unfolding for me are things that are going to be, they already have started to be like beyond what I would have thought they would be. Like I'm open with no expectations, no limitations, of being okay with the outcome. I love, I'm pretty sure this is what Maria wrote in response. Y'all know already what I'm letting go of, and it feels so good. So maybe that isn't Maria. Who is that? That's Sue. Okay, yeah, we do know what she's letting go of there. But yeah, Maria, think about what you need to let go of. Think about what is the pattern that has been popping up consistently in these past 12 years, essentially smacking you in the face, that they're really saying, you need to look at this, you need to look at this. And it might be that you've already worked with it and dealt with it, but they still want you to have a second look at that, a reflection back at what did this mean? It's like, for my husband, it was like, you need to stop volunteering. And I that's what I thought he was saying, and I thought he was very rude, and I couldn't believe he was that mean. But it was more about, no, you need to take care of yourself, is what he was actually saying. So you see what I mean by I was hearing one thing, but it actually meant something entirely different. So upon reflecting back, I got to revisit that whole thing where where he said it, where I realized 3 or 4 years later that he didn't mean what I thought he meant at that time, and taking that closer look at that so that we can move forward into these next 12 years in a more empowered manner. Okay.
Yeah, it's really it's very interesting too, because we have this Mars retrograde that I continually come back to, that is in a sign for 7 months, and it's in the sign of communication. The spark of new communications coming forth, new, whether we see them as getting to our ego mind, because Gemini can be about the duality of but we have an opportunity then to start to ask and communicate who we are, just what you're talking about, like your husband did for you, in this truth. Not only is it about me stepping into my truth, but it's communicating them. It's answer, seek knowledge. It's asking. That's Sagittarius. What is it that I want? I realized very recently that in a conversation with my own husband, where I said something and it was about what did you learn? And he looked at me and like, what are you talking about? And I realized all the years we've been together, I've never had a solid conversation with him to say, I always look at what am I learning in this? And he doesn't necessarily do that. But me not communicating that to him, it's like, wow, that was a game changer. And it's a very pin of who I am. And yet I there's that assume that somebody would know that, and they don't, you know?
Yeah.
So it's a really amazing time to step into. I like the fact that you're asking for the healing of who we are. I was listening recently about this. It's called Generation Alpha. We're coming to the end of its 15 year. It's 2010 to 2024. So it's that same 12 years, only it's a couple more years. And they're being born without all of these hangups, somewhat because of the work we're doing to let go at that DNA level. And so it would be amazing as they start to communicate all of the things that we can help each other do. So what an exciting 12 years of expansion coming. That doesn't mean easy, folks, but it doesn't mean it's how you look at it. Oh, the world is changing. Oh, versus it's getting crazy. No, what your words right now are amazingly important. If you don't like, if the words you use are negative, you know, you can talk about something that is not as something you do without a judgment connected to it. I'm so excited about today and so excited about setting my intentions and taking a look at it right now.
I'm going to put this up again. This is Maria. I need to let go so much. So there's the judgment. Mm-hmm. I need to let go so much that I don't start. But I'm working on it already, but most likely need to do more. Again, there's the judgment. So you're judging yourself at the front and the back of this, Maria. Just, I want to bring that awareness to you. Also, too, choose one thing. You don't have to change you. You don't have to become a new person. It's each of these little steps that we do along the way that are going to change us. Okay, so choose one thing that you want to change. For myself, I'm just going to use small little things. 2020, I became quite sedentary in many aspects because of things that were going on physically in my body with bike accidents, et cetera, et cetera. So 2021, I set out the goal of being able to walk more, get out more. And I went from my goal at the beginning of the year was 500 steps. I'm now at 7,500 steps a day, and I'm actively doing that on a daily basis. It takes some effort, but I made that one of my goals last year. So choose a goal. Choose one thing that you want to change. You don't have to change everything. Do you have anything you want to say to that?
Yeah, and if you don't know what it is, today's the perfect day. Set the intention that something steps forward and helps. You know, last month, because of the Scorpio, I wanted to transform the things inside me that get in my way. Now, I couldn't identify exactly what they were, why they arise, but every day repeating it, I started to get glimpses of what I can do, or feeling differently, or seeing things that I felt differently about, so it becomes a tool. It's not a, you know, it's a walk, it's a journey. It's and you know, set the intention now of what truths do you want to know? What truths maybe might be something about what is it I want to make a priority. So it's that's why when we talk about intention setting, look at the energy that's available. Truths and being able to move forward are available in this new moon tonight. So
exactly,
and it's expanding you, whatever it is. And even if I think that's often, sometimes that can be the intention. I want to have a clearer understanding of what these steps of what I want to let go are, and then that stuff starts to come to you. I needed some information about my childhood to come to me, that because that was part of what was in the way. And then all of a sudden, all these things started coming up for my childhood. I'm like, oh, it's happening. one of the things you and I talked about last night was I have a habit of putting it out and then sticking my face right in. Did you hear me? Gonna do it? Huh? Like learning to, okay, it's out there. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Just in the time. Yeah.
Maria, too, I'm just going to kind of go off on a sidebar with this. You're in Membership for Your Soul. I would highly recommend that if you're not in one of those Next Tiny Step pods, go and join one of those Next Tiny Step pods, because those will help you to really start to hone in and focus. Because even, something as simple as, oh, this is what I want to do. It's like I said, I started with 500 steps. I didn't start with 7,500 steps. But it started with one step in reality, right?
Yeah.
So it's learning what is that next tiny step, and maybe that would be the best advice.
It really started with you looking down a path, looking up to look down, for the step, because this is the direction I want to go, And again, what is it you want to say in 2034 about where you came, what awareness you created as you're setting those intentions? It's kind of nice to know this is another expansion time, and the world's in this too. So it's so funny because what I'm holding is my heart rock.
Oh, I've got one too from Sedona.
This one's from my land in Aurora.
Oh, I love it.
So yeah. And this is about following the heart. Sometimes when we look at Gemini, that's what Mars is in retrograde. We get caught in the thoughts because it's air, but it's the duality. It's the experience. So let your heart lead what experiences you want to expand in this next 12 years. So
there is also another aspect to this. You may be stepping into the energy. I'm talking to Maria specifically, but all of you, of course, you may be thinking that, okay, here I am here, and this is what I'm going to look like when I get there. Okay, that makes it impossible to have it happen. We have to be open to whatever it's going to look like when we get there. We can only put it out there what we want in our life. Like for myself, I want to be. I know it's unlikely that I'll be living where I'm living right now in my house. And I'm putting it out there that whatever my husband and I are doing, we have the vehicle that we absolutely enjoy. And I don't know what that's going to be. So I'm not even putting out there what that is. But by 2034, I can picture that we could stand up in it.
Right.
Right.
I mean, that's why when we say choose your words wisely, be careful what you say, because the interpretation of it. But I prefer that I will be feeling happy, joy every day. I will have, I prefer that I will have created a business that feeds my soul, so it's not a business. I prefer to have abundance of health, abundance of wealth, abundance is so, and it's already becoming much more prevalent when I pay attention. So, it's living the life right this moment that you want to feel, and not looking at all the things I got to do and get out of the way. It's, what energies, what tools do I have that I want to be, I'm not going to use want. I prefer to have in my life, and they're here already. So
I spoke at the beginning to the very first question that was asked, and truly the only question that was asked. So everybody else, you're getting your readings through this. The information's coming through it. I won't be necessarily doing specific readings per se for each of you. Maria spurred a really great conversation, so thank you very much for that, Maria. What I wanted to say is now eluding me. It's too comical. There's a reason why I said what I had to say there, I guess.
You were talking about the question that was the only question that was asked, which I didn't hear. What was the question? She
wanted to know what was. Bear with me here. What would my guides like me to know about my situation right now? And thank you. That powerfully helped me right away. So I suggested, or actually I didn't suggest, it was channeled that she do an automatic writing. And in talking about what we're talking about right here, there are ways to start to enhance that feeling, just like Kitty was just talking about. I want to feel good. I am feeling good now in this moment. I speak my health. I speak I'm good health. I say now, and interestingly enough, let me say two things. One is where I was going with the conversation, first of all, is you could always do a day in the life writing, like do an automatic writing around a day in the life. I find that those have been very powerful in some cases, and in other cases, I find a lot of resistance coming from myself to do it. Having said that, the other part of that is I do morning pages, whether it's a paragraph, whether it's 3 pages, is immaterial, but I write in my morning pages. And I had a huge epiphany in the beginning of November at the retreat that I was at around myself and really starting to embrace the woman that I am, because I've been embracing the masculine energy so desperately and ignoring the feminine energy, that I'm now embracing that woman energy. So one of my mantras when I wake up is I am a beautiful woman. And the power of that is so incredible now, because I have never in my entire life said that to myself, ever. I will come on and go, oh, look at how beautiful I am. But I'm telling you guys to look at me. I'm not looking at me. I'm seeing only the outwards appearance. So what I'm writing now in my morning pages is I am well balanced emotionally, mentally, physically, sexually, and spiritually in every realm and dimension, which is really, I can feel, even as I'm writing this every day, I can feel the shift of who I am falling into alignment with that. It's so powerful.
Yeah, it is one of my favorite exercises I've ever done writing. Carrie Farmer had us do, where we write a letter to ourselves about all of the things we have done in our lives that we're so proud of. And, that's a great place for me personally. Maybe Maria would want to try it. To start, like, look at what you've come through, look at what you've learned. And it felt so wonderful to say thank you to the little girl who figured out how to, navigate her mother's illness. Thank you to the little girl who, still found friends and found a way to step away from it. And it was very, very powerful. I still go back and read that letter.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So.
Is there anything else we want to say?
This is wonderful. I did my little reel this morning about this. I just think if people, today is a great day for, as a matter of fact, I'm going to ask you if you could share this to IOTS, a great day for this awareness of, the best word they channeled to me was premiere. This is a premiere of energies to come, a premiere of what, we talked about this in April and May. Dream it, dream it, dream it. Well, this is literally the premiere of it, the truth of which dreams you have decided to embrace.
So take a moment to close your eyes and feel into the energy of that premiere. Like feel into the energy of the magnificence. And I really ask you to ask your mind, body, and soul to do whatever it needs to do to heal in this space, and be open to receiving and accepting the goodness of who you are from 2034. Feel into the energy in that premiere. You're getting a premiere view of how cool and incredible you are. And if all you can do is feel the energy of a smile on your face, then that's all you need right now, right?
In that moment, too, if you're watching this and something's bothering you, just put it on the shelf for a minute, because you can have it back. Not a problem. So just set it aside just for a minute while you feel that, because our mind tends to sometimes, it's just trying to protect us. It's trying to make sense of a pattern, but it's making a sense of a pattern that we're in right now. And we're asking you to feel into that pattern that exists 12 years from now.
Yeah. So let's do that one more time then, with that advice that Kitty just said, that if you feel resistance, give it a bump. Give it a bump out of the way and open that path. So closing your eyes again, inviting in the beautiful energy of that magnificent you from 2034. Beautiful. It was interesting because the first time that we did it, I got the sense of the feeling. The second time that I did it, I was even much more open to it. And I got a vision of myself on a bike. So if you practice doing something like this, like we were literally only doing that for maybe 30, 45 seconds. If you practice doing something like this throughout the rest of today, create that habit of tapping into the energy of that 2034 person and the magicness, right?
Yeah, one of the things for both Sandra and I, a book that really amazed us was our stroke of insight, and to find out that even you only really need or prefer to feel it for 30 seconds, your body, and then it can let go of it, is not assigning it thoughts. So I was aware of that. This is just the feeling. And the second time, what I felt was energy through my crown. Energy of, and I felt my spine actually align, so it's pretty cool.
Ooh.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So
right on. Well, this has been really powerful. This is Maria's comment. Love this.
I can't
the energy
see
is
whose
beautiful.
comments they are. It's funny. So
I'm flipping through over to the Facebook page to see who they are. Getting together an intention is powerful. Exactly. So know that throughout the day, as you're popping back in for that 30 seconds or 45 seconds, that you are amongst all of us, and we're all doing this ideally. Okay.
Right.
And even if you are like, get to the end of the day and you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't do that. Do it then. Do it then.
Well, and that thing you put on the shelf, if you go get it now, it's going to look very different.
Yeah.
But you can have it back if you need it.
Yeah.
So.
Right on. Well, hopefully you guys got what you needed out of this today, because I think that we really truly stand in a lot more power when we choose to step into where we're going, but being open to the possibilities instead of going, well, this is what I want to look like when I get there. It's impossible to do that. In 2018, I had no idea that 2019 Boxing Day would be the last day I would dye my hair. And this is who I am now, right? So if I had to put that out in 2018, then I would be this redhead for the next 12 years. My life might look entirely different because I had put that limitation out there, right?
Well, I go back to 2010. I was teaching first grade. And my son was 2 years from high school graduation. He's now 28, and just the journey. I just had my first grandchild, and just the whole journey that it's been since has been, and the awakening that came, because the biggest thing I realized yesterday was I didn't know that that I didn't really practice living my whole life all the way through, that each day was a microcosm of the energy I could create. And I have so much gratitude because I've been so protected, not knowing that. So.
Wow. Yeah. As I mentioned at the beginning, when Maria's question came up about that, and I, as I read through it, etc., I mentioned Kitty. I mentioned Kitty because intuition of the soul is a big part of my life. Her vibe of the week over there, it literally breaks down the day by day. I have started to actively use the information that's coming up on the vibe of the week. I've been actively using the information that she's putting in the Empowering the Healer Within community as well, because she does a monthly spot in there that talks about the whole month. And it is changing the direction of our group. It's changing the direction of where we're going because I got this more information in there. So I highly recommend, Kitty. I mean, I just absolutely adore you.
Thank you. I adore you too. We haven't got to talk for about 3 weeks, and we usually talk once a week, everybody. We have a set date,
Yes.
time and date, but it's, and this is part of this co-creation for all of us. This week I did a podcast with someone, and one of the things, there's nothing that for me that I don't take some learning away from. I mean, that was what was so funny, not having communicated that to my husband, like, oh, that's like who I am. Was that what the stars are is a tool of responsibility. If I know what the energy is, I know what's either not having a great conversation, so I can tap into what is, and I know my own energies, it becomes a tool. That's all it is just a tool. It's not predictive. I use that energy to co-create my life. So that was a great gift. Yes, it is just a tool of responsibility for me to be able to step into my own power. And it's so funny because the second time, by the way, I was doing your mantra. I am open to whatever this is going to look like, however it's coming forward. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Robin said the I am open mantra.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's a game changer.
It is. It really is.
Yeah.
Especially when you're stuck in a moment, just to stop and I am open. I am open. Even if I only get that far. It gives me the stepping back. It has me stop sticking my face in the vortex and trying to get it back.
Exactly. And like Sue said, when we're open, new learning is available to us.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is. So will you share this on IOTS?
I won't be able to share this specifically because it's in the group, but I'll be able to share the YouTube because I've got it fed into YouTube as well.
Okay, good. We just can put the link
Perfect.
up, and then that will
Exactly.
be, it would be great. Because I'm now doing, by the way, if you're interested, I do daily reels now of just little snippets of the energy, and you can find them on Optimize. I actually post them everywhere, on my own page, everywhere. And so just for a little snapshot of that day, plus the vibe of the week. So.
Exactly. And just on that note, thank you for mentioning that, because on Instagram, the Sandini Sandra, I've been posting daily the I Am Love mantra on a reel. So that you can go and listen to that.
I'll make sure I get a notice for that too. So
yeah,
I'm just learning about reels. It's pretty funny, on how you do them and how you share them all over. Yeah. And I just found out, I don't know if you know this, I just found this out, that I can actually download the reel from another site and then upload it to a different site.
Ooh.
Because I have I have Intuition of the Soul, and I have Optimize, and I have public pages and private pages with groups. And so it was like, there's no way to link them all to play, but I can do it. I can download and upload. So
beautiful. Right on. Okay, everybody. Ideally, for those of you who said, hey, I want a reading or a card pull, I'm not stepping into the energy of that, because I think a lot of information came through here that we're being asked to act upon individually. Okay. Yeah. So you're being asked, the guidance coming through is that you're being asked to feel into the energy of yourself in 2034. And like I said, feel the joy, feel the passion, and feel the happiness. Choose to be that. Right.
So, by the way, 2034 is a 9. So it's a cosmic year. Ooh.
Love it. I love that. Someone just said no reading is needed other than what happened here. Exactly. Thanks, Sue.
Thank you for having me come aboard. Come on.
Yeah, this has been fun.
It was fun. So.
Yeah, well, you know what? I have these Q&As on a monthly basis, and I put it out there for the question posts, et cetera, and I just, if it was going to be one question, it was going to be one question, and then whatever happens from there. And I just love the freedom of that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
exactly. Thanks, everybody.
Going off at 4:44.